The Branding Your Business podcast is for small business owners looking to build a customer favorite brand and a value-driven business. From solo shows covering marketing tactics to experts sharing their brand stories, each episode delivers actionable insights for entrepreneurs who want to impact the world. We're sharing how strategic moves and authentic connections can build a profitable business minus the burnout. Tune into the Branding Your Business podcast with me, Praise Santos McKenna of Come Plum, to design a brand your audience adores while building a life you love. Hi, welcome to the Branding Your Business podcast. My name is Praise Santos McKenna of Come Plum. For the last number of episodes, I've been telling you how to inject more branding into your business. I've taught you a lot of branding foundations, branding strategy, branding expression. I love speaking about those things. But I often get questions from people who say, Praise, how did you start your business? How did that happen? We have a lot of questions about it. Can you tell us your story? How did you do it? Well, to be honest, I like to say I'm a bit of an accidental business owner in that I didn't plan to be a business owner. I went to school and I studied organizational communications with a focus on the nonprofit sector because I really love serving communities, like I'm serving this online community today. And I wanted to do work, very hands-on work in the nonprofit sector. And so I thought I was going to travel the world and do mission work, but by the time graduation was a few months off, I felt like that wasn't right for me. And I freaked out because I thought I was going to travel the world, stop at different ports along the way, like host literary tours, literary workshops. And that plan was just out the door. And I freaked out because I thought to myself, what am I going to do then? And a very clear voice told me, go to San Francisco. Okay, so I moved from Orlando, Florida to San Francisco, California, and I got a job working at a nonprofit that was helping to eliminate poverty in the Bay Area. Still love them, still love what they do, and that's where I got my hand working in marketing, working with clients, etc., and I liked it there, but my commitment there was for a year, and then from there I went to another nonprofit. Great experiences. But somehow in my time moving up in the career ladder at these nonprofits, there was something missing. And I could tell something was missing because of how my body was reacting to my life circumstances. I wasn't sleeping well anymore. I also wasn't eating and digesting food normally. I was so anxious, so nervous. I was depressed. I couldn't have that spark I used to have anymore. And I knew something was off. I was young, I was in my 20s, and I thought that my 20s would be way more energetic than this. And I had one of those moments where I had to come to the truth that this was not for me. And so I resigned. I resigned without a plan, which was really hard because I am such a type A personality. Again, kind of an accidental business owner because I moved home for a little bit. And I just took the time to ask myself big questions of, okay, so I'm anxious, depressed, not sleeping. I feel pretty close to dead. When was a time I felt opposite of this? Because I knew there was a time where I felt more alive and more vibrant. And I realized that I still wanted to do some type of impact and community work. And I also needed to have some creativity in my life. I needed to make beautiful things. How could I integrate both things together? That was my challenge. Community work, love people, make pretty things. How could I do that? And so I looked up a industry called social enterprises. Now, these are businesses that do good. And I thought to myself, okay, this is it. I'm going to work for a social enterprise. So I moved to Nairobi, Kenya for the summer, and I worked for a jewelry company taking photos. I had been doing photos since I was 16 years old. And I thought to myself, okay, this is cool. This is going to combine all the things, right? I'm going to make pretty things, these photos, these videos. And I know that by helping advertise the work of these artisans, I can help build this community here and it'll have an impact globally. I thought I had really nailed it. But that photo fellowship didn't have the money to hire me after the fellowship. And so I was stuck again. My plan A was out the door. Plan B was out the door. Plan C was also out the door. And so I came back again and thought, okay, God, what do you want me to do now? I tried these things, What could be next? Sure, I learned more about myself along the way, but there wasn't a clear path forward. That time in Nairobi, though, that time I spent in a workshop, seeing people in their skill sets, in their giftings, being so sure of what they're good at and leaning into that, how it had an impact on their family and their neighbors and their community, that gave me an idea. What if I went back to San Francisco and just did the thing I was good at? I've been doing photography. What if I really leaned in and let people pay me for it? So I bargained with God. Okay, I'm going to give myself 3 months to see if I can make a living out of this, move back. And I worked so many jobs. I was doing photography, acting and modeling, brand ambassadoring, graphic design, just anything to kind of piece a living together. 3 months turned into a year, and I was able just to focus on photography. And after many years of doing all kinds of photography, that's how I ended up focusing on branding, and specifically with small businesses and female entrepreneurs. And after many years of doing that, now I'm in education and teaching others how to build their own business, how to also find out what their sweet spot is, how to also build a life that aligns with their values. Okay, it took plan A, B, C. I'm on plan EFG now. Is that what it is? So here's the principle. I'm not sure if it's exactly about having one answer. This is it. I had a friend told me it's not about finding the purpose in your life, but it's more about what is my purpose in this season of life. And it's this openness. And that is what business has done for me. It's given me that flexibility, that joy to figure out what does a life look like aligned with my values right now. So that's a little bit about my story. That's how I started my business, accidentally in a way. A lot of pivoting, a lot of trying out. And my story is unique, but it's not a standalone story because I'm thinking about my other friend who's working for one of these great tech companies here in the hospitality space in San Francisco, but during the pandemic got laid off. She took her design skills that she honed at that company and she started her own design studio. Or I think about another friend who is incredible in her corporate job. She kept on moving up the ladder and she realized she could even have more career fulfillment and more freedom if she resigned and started working as a consultant. So many stories like this, and these are not singular stories. FreshBooks, so it is that platform that helps you do accounting, they did a study on self-employed folks, and they said that 40% of employed Americans say they want to be self-employed, with half of those saying that it's their number one goal in life. So I know y'all out there, this is on your mind. That study goes on to say that 54% of Americans under 35 plan to start their own businesses in the next few years. They also said that those who are already self-employed, 95% of them are planning on staying self-employed for the foreseeable future. 68% of self-employed folks report better work-life balance than when they were employed. 60% experience less stress, and 46% are in better health. If you are looking for career control, job fulfillment, and financial gain, I would highly recommend you consider working for yourself, starting your own business. This podcast is filled with ideas of how to brand your business once you get there. And I also wrote a guide to help you pivot. Maybe you're already working a 9-to-5 job and you're considering leaving to start working for yourself, but you're filled with questions on how to do that. I wrote a guide for you. It's called Pivot, and it's all the things I wish I knew when I was first starting my business. Anything from how to register your business, how to market your business, how to make sure it's aligned with the lifestyle that you want. That's what's in this guide. So I hope that's helpful for you. In episodes to come, I'll be telling you more about the mistakes I made when I was first starting my business to hopefully help you not make those same mistakes. Again, my name is Praise Santos McKenna of Complum. This is the Branding Your Business podcast, and I hope my story of how I started my own business is helpful for you.